Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, and our guest is Jim Clarke, member of the Culver City City Council. In your community, of which I live near, you have faced several elections. State Senate race in September, school board in November, an assembly race coming in December, a potential runoff in February, your city council races in April, and then the state primary in June. I'm exhausted. Your voters must have complete hangovers.
That's why I'm very much concerned about the whole election fatigue. And we just saw that in the November elections, which were all local elections, off-year elections, the average voter turnout across the board in LA County was 9.9%.
And what's interesting to me about that is I have become a permanent vote-by-mail voter. And recently I received my ballot for the assembly race. I live in your community outside of Culver City. I just marked the ballot and sent it off. I mean, it's very easy to be a permanent vote-by-mail voter. I just did it and it's done.
Yeah, and in these elections, we're seeing more and more that over 50% of the ballots are actually cast by mail or absentee.
That is a true statement. I'm looking at the figures, and there were a total of about 175,000 ballots cast. About 100,000 were absentee.
And in the special election in September, it was 2/3 were.
Right.
So one of the questions is why are we still having polling places, which it's harder and harder to get poll workers and whatever. Why don't we just mail it out? But it also shows, though, that in terms of presidential, gubernatorial, there's not necessarily an increase in voter turnout. I think there is a slight increase, 2-3% in the turnout if you mail the ballots out to people. But it is a good cost savings.
But why not? Why aren't, I should say, people just not making it easy on themselves? Let the ballots. I didn't even know the ballot was going to come. It just was there. And my wife and I, off we go, done, mailed out, didn't even think about it. And the chance I would have gone to the polls for one election, I mean, I probably would because I'm a dork, but still, I mean, most people wouldn't.
Yeah, and that's true. And we were doing calling on election day, and I mean, it was a very active campaign in Culver City. 7 candidates running for
the school board.
For school board, 7 candidates for 3 positions. Very active campaigns.
And what was the turnout?
Turnout was about 14%.
But that's still,
it's
pathetic.
which is much higher than the county-wide.
And what's also interesting is Culver City is known for having an outstanding school board and school district.
Correct.
So you would think there would be even more motivation because everyone's proud of the school district.
Right, and the interesting thing was it wasn't a slam dunk. In fact, for the second election in a row for the school board that we've had an incumbent defeated by a first-time candidate.
Was it so 2 incumbents win, one newcomer?
Well, no, it was
one didn't run again.
Yeah, no, there were only 2 incumbents. There were 3 seats.
Got it.
1 did not run, and then 2 incumbents were running.
1 lost.
1 lost,
2
and
newcomers.
so 2 new members on the school board.
How many total votes? About? Guess?
Well, the leading vote getter got about 2,400 votes. 2,200.
And think about how much power, and I don't mean that in a negative way, that person has over the futures of all the kids in Culver City.
Well, yes, but you and I had this conversation before about the special election in the state assembly in the Valley, where the leading candidate won
Mr.
with
DeBobney.
5,000
votes.
So 5,000 votes, you get to be a member of the
state assembly. And he's representing about 500,000 people.
Yes.
I mean, there's still. Has he had his runoff yet? I can't even.
No, I think it's coming up.
I mean, again, it's maddening. Now, a lot of it's because of term limits, but we did have term limit reform, so should we see fewer specials?
No. I think it's still the musical chairs and moving around. So, the idea you consolidate elections, but then you get more people. It's more costly for the candidates.
Right.
You also get a lot of people that may not be interested in down ballot.
So much to talk about. He's Jim Clarke. He's a member of the Culver City City Council. I'm Brad Pomerance. This is Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.